I was that, you know, middle-aged mom that like couldn't get rid of those last, 15, 20, 30 pounds, depending on what year it was. So I had like some success with exercise and eating healthy in college, but then getting married, having kids, going through pregnancies, like I just could never get down to where I personally felt comfortable, But for me, I didn't feel good the way I looked. It was probably about 4 years ago when I first decided to come here, and I remember feeling just like I wanted to hide. Is that like, I don't know how else to say it. Like you just want to hide in your body. Like you're wearing big clothes. I was wearing like black and gray and stretchy pants and just feeling like so uncomfortable. The thought of like showing my face here or putting on workout clothes or being in front of other people was, that was the hardest thing to get past and to like come in the door, I guess. Let's put it that way. But I'm glad I did it. Fitness wise, I would honestly say that besides doing raw 45-minute classes, consistently, I'd say for the past year and a half. Like I've been coming for 4 years, right? But sometimes I'll disappear for a month and you guys will reach out and be like, hello. But for the past year and a half, I've really been consistently coming. And other than raw, I've almost done nothing else. So everything that's happened physically is really due to raw fitness. I mean, and my body has transformed 100%. I don't even know how to say it. Like I have like definition in places I didn't know I could. I have fat that disappeared that I never thought at my age would go away. And as far as like the coaching aspect of it, I can't, like that's the part where I'll get emotional because like I can't even say how much that support helped, right? Like having you guys there is what changed everything. And the mindset is the hard part. So, the coaching definitely helped me and everyone has their own issues, right? So it's that individualized attention that helps you figure out what your needs are, right? So for me, a lot of it was stress, like how to deal with stress. I mean, each coach has their own personal, unique strength that makes this gym so successful, is what I think. And I just love them all. And if without them, this would have never happened for me. You know what I mean? Also the accountability, like I still weigh in every month, and it's not because of the number or because it used to be such a stressor to weigh in. Like stress of weighing in would affect me for like the whole week. And now it's just like more of like data, right? Like, oh, how am I doing? I'm down a little bit, I'm up a little bit. Like, oh, maybe I'll tweak this a little bit, but it doesn't cause me stress. And it took a couple years ago, like you couldn't have told me like that number didn't matter. You could have told me that, and you have told me that, but it did. But now looking back, it's like that number does not matter because it all matters how I feel, right? So the weight I am now and the weight maybe I was, 10 years ago at that weight, my body composition is not the same. My body doesn't look the same, so, and I really thought like that number meant happiness. Like if I was below that number, I was happy, and if I was above that number or way above that number, I wasn't happy, so that's like huge changes for me, so yeah. Never in a million years thought I'd be there. Like, I don't know, I don't want to say like weight consumed my life, but to an extent it did, right? Like it was always about like, am I gaining weight? Am I losing weight? Am I on a diet? And my friends and I are like, are we starting a diet on Monday? Are we going to do the Atkins? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? For 20 years of doing the same thing that, and like, just like we talked about, is like you kind of get down enough to where you feel better. So you start to like let your foot off the gas because you feel like, oh, I'm feeling pretty good, right? But you never kind of get to like really where you want to be, like really where I feel now, where I feel like, oh, it's almost I don't wake up thinking about it ever anymore. It's just those habits. It's like going to the gym is like going to work, right? I work it into my week. And even eating, like I can honestly say I haven't eaten one thing that I don't like in the past year and a half. Not one. I just found foods I like that are healthy, and that's kind of like my base. And then sometimes I lighten up a little bit because I'm on vacation, but I don't go crazy. I have Corona, I have whatever. I don't have a giant ice cream drink, right? Just because, again, it'll make me feel like crap. And so I feel like I kind of just like learned how to eat and exercise and I don't even stress about it anymore. Physically, the changes have been, like, I'm down about 20 pounds this past year. It probably took like 4 months to lose like that big, 15, that last like 15 pounds. And then like we talked about though, the body composition, I think my body fat's down probably like, I don't know, maybe 12%, something like that. But just the changes physically that I see have been immeasurable. Like I'm shocked sometimes, Even today I see little changes, like, oh, I got this new little thing in my shoulder. I don't know where that came from, but cool, Or like my abs are flat, like things that like at my age I didn't think would kind of come back together, kind of came back together, So that's like been, I think when you get to a certain age, you're like, well, my body will never look like it did in my 20s. I honestly feel like my body looks like it did in my 20s. Like that's how I feel. If you told me you'd go put a string bikini on right now, I'll go put it on. I don't even care. I don't have that body self-conscious shame very much anymore, which is, it's so freeing because you just feel like you can wear what you want. And, before it was like, you're constantly like trying to hide, you're putting on Spanx and you're putting on, everything was about hiding things. And now it's like, it totally takes that off the plate. Like you just don't care. I've been there. My weight has been up and down and up and down and up and down for 30 years, probably 30 years. Sometimes you feel good and sometimes you don't. But I'm going to just say again, like walking in the door is the hardest part. But once you make that decision, it is life-changing. And I will say that about Raw. Like I've been here a year and a half, and I have never heard a bad word from anybody. Everybody encourages each other. Everybody is at a different place with their physical fitness. So there's modifications for every single exercise. There's many exercises I couldn't do when I came in here that I can do now just because I just kept coming, right? So, and the accountability, like that's something I didn't mention before, but being accountable to someone really is helpful. If I didn't show up here for a week or two, someone would reach out to me and say like, where are you, Julie? Where have you been, right? If I go to a big gym, like nobody notices that you're there. Nobody notices if you're not there. But here it's like, everybody knows your name, right? It's like Cheers. Like everybody knows everybody. I walk into a class any day, anytime, and I know plenty of people who I consider friends. Many of us are friends outside the gym now. We do stuff outside the gym together. It's just the best community. And we're all of the same mindset. So in here, it's like your safe space, right? We're all here for the same reason. So we encourage each other when things, maybe we're struggling a little bit. We help each other. We reach out to each other. We celebrate successes of each other. There's not like jealousy or competition. It's just, we jokingly call it our happy place, but it really is our happy place.